Welcome back to Denoise. We're going to do our roundup of top AI stories for filmmakers. Let's get into it.
Here's the roundup.
All right. Good to see you, Addy.
Hey, man, where are you?
I'm still in LA.
You're in LA?
For now. Yeah, I'm going to...
I'm in LA.
We
should meet up. We should meet up and do a podcast.
You know, distance here is still so long, so far away. But yeah, also I'm heading to Atlanta tomorrow, and then we'll be back together next week.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, 1 week I'm there, 1 week you're there, and then
it's been
finally
bouncy summer.
I really miss our in-person sessions.
I know.
It's been a minute.
Looking at you on a teleprompter screen is not the same effect.
I know. Our jokes don't hit quite right.
Yeah, that too. with the lag. All right. So we're doing it's early in the week. We usually do the roundup on Friday, but we're going to give a shot, try it out earlier in the week. And also, we didn't do it last week. So there we are.
Don't kill us, please.
Yeah. First up, already people calling it a nano banana killer. Nano banana has already been usurped.
That's
Seedream, one of my favorite models. I've talked about it a bunch from ByteDance. They came out with Seedream 4.0, and among other things, it has similar adherence to text prompt modifications, where you can tell it what you want to change, and it changes it. Change the angle, change an object, change a thing. You can give it up to 6 input reference images. It can generate 2K images or up to 4K images, which is also very nice because these look really sharp and really good.
Nano Banana is an image generator, but Seedream 4.0 is a video generator, and they're being compared to each other.
No, you're thinking of Seedance.
Seedance.
Seedream is their image generator. Seedance is the video generator. Both from ByteDance. Educated.
Well, I mean, up to
also,
4K
by the way, I will give a
resolution?
shout out because I usually just use their stuff on file or like through through APIs or through other tools. They also have a whole other, like their own AI website, which we've never talked about because it was sort of not on my radar, but it's called Dreamina AI.
That's a good name. I like that.
I've heard it compared to some other things, but yeah, I learned more about it because Jenna from ByteDance was at TIFF at AI on the Lot, and so she educated me too because I was like, oh, I just used it through APIs. She's like, oh, you can just use it through the website as well. So if you were also wondering how to use these models, Dreamina is like the main spot, or I use it on FreePick because it's there and it's free.
Dreamina is an AI platform. It's not a model, right?
Dreamina is their quote free pick or their like Google Flow. It's like their web portal to use it's ByteDance's web portal to use their models. Among their models being in a bunch of other things, but that's their like website portal. If you just want to be like, I just want to use ByteDance models, you can go to Dreamina and use them there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I wonder if your TikTok account works with, getting free stuff.
Good question. I mean, I think you could also use these in, CapCut, probably. I don't know what the integration's like. That's a little outside of my world. But, I mean, ByteDance is making these models. I'm sure they're going to be in every ByteDance product at some point.
Well, hold on. Let's take a step back. I mean, we talked about this before in a few podcast episodes ago. ByteDance owns TikTok, and they're also making these incredible models, and they're not charging anybody for it. They're free. No, what is the end game here, Joey? What do you think?
You're thinking of Alibaba.
Our Seedream. Wait,
they're not free.
They're not free.
No. We are AI experts.
Edit this out. It's been a minute. I haven't podcasted in a while.
I'm the one recovering from COVID.
There was tube strikes, man. I had to walk all over London. Maybe we should just keep it on just for laughs.
I think it's pretty
bloopers reel.
I think it's also funny to show we live in this stuff and it's so complicated to keep track of.
Seriously. It's my fault. I overgeneralize too much. So I just thought Chinese models are free.
I do understand everything. I did have this quick thought once before too, and then I was like, oh wait, no, it's Juan from Alibaba. That's the free download. Do whatever you want with it. Yeah, so the ByteDance models are not free. They are pretty inexpensive, but they're not free and they're not like open source. You can't download them and run them on your own system. You have to use it through an API or on Dreamina. It's going full circle.
Okay, so I mean, you use it on FreePick because FreePick API connects to that Dreamina, I'm sure.
Yeah, wherever ByteDance is selling the API access. I use it on FreePick because I got, as we talked about, they got me with the Pro Plus plan, so it's unlimited. So, we could just generate and I don't worry about the credits and stuff. It's a good selling point because I'm using it a bunch. Anyway,
have you tested
So talk about the come back to Seedream 4.0.
Yeah. Have you tested that against Nano Banana?
Yeah, so I have. One, going back to the updates of this, the other unique thing that it does is you could also tell it to generate multiple images in your output at the same time. So if you're like, you give it one source image of like, us or in the studio, and then you say, generate 4 images of different close-up angles in this scene, it will spit out 4 images, independent images in that batch generation of, whatever it'll pick the close-ups or whatever you specify in your prompt. Which is interesting because in theory that would get you a more consistent output because it's in that same generation. And that's kind of the same photo quote hack that they did with the video model Seedance.
Dance.
Right. With Dance was the video model where they realized if you prompt shot changes in your prompt, you can get a more consistent output of multiple shots in the same generation because it's in that same space. So sort of the photo hack equivalent of that you can do in Seedream now. So I think that could also be interesting to get like batches of really, really consistent outputs of, character consistency or location consistency if you're trying to get different angles or poses or details of something.
Is it just 4 or can you dial it up all the way to like 8 or 16?
I think it might be 8.
Well, I'm just thinking from like a previous perspective. A lot of times you're doing so much trial and error, right? Like you don't even know what you really want. You're just kind of going with the flow a little bit. Like you have some creative, but you're really waiting for the right visual to come along. And in those instances, I would think like putting like 16 little thumbnails in front of you and you pick 1 or 2. I mean, that's a pretty cool feature.
Yeah, that is a cool feature.
Oh, look at you running Comfy.
Yeah, so yeah, also shout out that Comfy did add it as a native API node into their system.
Oh, so that $ thing up above, that's the API key? What is that?
Indicates that the node costs money and that it'll take it from your account. Usually, if it's a consistent rate, it'll tell you how much it costs per generation. But because it depends how many outputs you pick, the price can vary. But this was pretty cheap. It was maybe like, I forgot, 2 cents or 4 cents a generation.
I mean, it's so cool to see the resolution at which you're generating. Those are big resolutions for, AI.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We're typically at like 1024.
Exactly. Yeah. These have been good. So here, I cranked up max images. Let me go up to 15.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I guess 15.
Yeah. Are you running Comfy Cloud? What are you?
Yeah. This is API, so it just shoots it to the cloud and then it just brings it back here. Okay. Now going back, your original question, Nano Banana, Seedance comparisons.
That's the $1 million question.
That's the question. I was messing around with both, and it was literally like shot to shot, or depending what I needed. Sometimes Nano Banana did it. Sometimes Seedance did it.
Would you say it's 50-50?
Yeah, I would say Nano Banana still, for what I was using it for needed, it still came out ahead. Like Nano Banana I found was way better at 3D space. Like if I gave it an image of a character in a space and I'm like, I need an over-the-shoulder shot of this character in this space. The Nano Banana output felt much more consistent, like as if it was over the shoulder, and whatever we saw in the distance here, it felt consistent. The geography of the layout felt consistent. Seedance didn't quite do it correctly. It kind of shifted a lot of stuff around and changed a lot of things. And then also even I was trying to do I wasn't even sure if this would work. I had like a screenshot of a computer screen, like a website, and I added it as an overlay image, in FreePic because I have a little editor to mark up what you want. So I put it on a AI generated computer screen of like a real computer screen shot. And then I said, blend the screenshot into the computer screen. And I was like wondering like, how is it going to do with the details and stuff? Seedream really warped it so that you really couldn't read it. But Nano Banana looked sharp. Like it kept, you could tell what it was. It kept a lot of the details.
Yeah,
I was surprised.
It sounds like you won't say it, you're too nice, but it sounds like Nano Banana is still king.
I think it's still king. Yeah. For the stuff I was using it for, that's why I'm like, I didn't give it a big wide ranging, shot. But the thing that did come in handy was the multiple outputs it was for a thing where I'm just like, I'm trying to ideate and storyboard and think of stuff, and having the multiple outputs in like a consistent thing, space, that was cool. So that's cool to see.
Wouldn't you be able to do that with Nano Banana? Like just in a ComfyUI, just have a bunch of parallel API nodes and just generate. Well,
but you're generating it with different seeds and different
seeds, right?
Generations.
Right.
Like this is in the same latent space.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. So you're in that same imaginary world that it is pulling these 8 images or up to 15 images from.
You're right. That could be powerful for certain things when you just need the same consistency across.
Right. Like a character image, and it's like, or put this character in like 4 different locations, and it would theoretically be the same character because it's the same. Or better,
also, I'm imagining
consistent.
For training like an AI model, you need a bunch of synthetic data, and the synthetic data has to line up correctly, maybe in those instances.
Oh, like if you're trying to generate training data?
Like if you're going to train another AI model on the likeness of a synthetic human, you want to generate that synthetic human in one shot so their features are consistent for 15
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
images.
Yeah, that could work too. Yeah. All right. Next update. VEED.io. They've got their own talking avatar model now, VEED Fabric 1.0, AI talking video model. But basically, you give it an image, you give it the audio, and it could generate up to 1-minute-long videos faster and cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the preview that you're showing here, I mean, look, that's as good as like HeyGen, or maybe even slightly better, to be honest. I'm not sure, like, how modifiable these are. Are these presets, or can you just upload anybody's photo and then have an
I think
avatar?
you just give it any image, with a character. I don't know, because I've had these issues before of like how much of a face it needs to understand like what to map out. Because like in these demos, it seems like they're all human faces. Sometimes they do animals.
Yeah,
if it's like a dog or like a popular animal that has a very clear face, like sometimes if you get more abstract animals, they don't know what to do with it. But I think the use case for this is more, kind of like in the UGC or explainer video world, like the HeyGen world.
Yeah, I was an OG VEED user for a long time. I've been using it for like almost 3 years. I used to do a lot of social media posts, and I would just upload stuff onto my my MacBook and then just edit it on VEED, which is a browser-based editing suite. It was, and then the best part was it had really good AI audio cleanup, and it also had captions. A few years ago, it was hard to just generate captions. Now you can find it everywhere.
Everything does it.
Yeah, and I could see them integrating avatars. So, like, if you're a content creator who makes a bunch of short form content, and then you just need a B-roll or somebody holding some product, or just saying something profound for like 5 seconds. Could be a random person. It doesn't matter. I think this could be really handy.
They're in VEED, in the social media tool set that you're talking about. They're kind of in the same space as like Descript, transcripts, text-based editing, can create social clips. Descript, this reminded me though, because like Descript they've been adding a lot of AI editing assisting features, but they also have an AI, I think they had a feature called Overdub where you could like modify or tweak or change the audio. If you need to change how someone said something, you get their consent. There's like a thing a permission thing you have to read. But I think they also added a video modification feature. So like if we were editing this podcast and like it's like, oh, you messed up a thing or I messed up a word and I needed to change my mouth moving, I think they added a feature that does that, but it's not their model. Like I'm assuming it sends it off to like Hedra or HeyGen's API or one of those other
that's
companies.
Pretty powerful still. I mean, man, it's just like, what can you not do?
Yeah, especially when it comes to editing, and you're just like, oh, we did jump cuts are gone.
Like if you and I did this podcast and we had this like third character who we just kind of, hey, Joey says this, Addy says this, what do you think? And we cut to this third person, and it could be a totally synthetic AI avatar.
Yeah.
But like you can totally build that into the story,
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm sure there are podcasts that exist where it's like, yeah, the co-host is like an AI chatbot or something. It's like,
yeah. Again, I don't know how I would connect with a synthetic podcaster. Like so much of, I mean, you listen to so many podcasts, as do I. And then the number one reason we go back for it is we build this familiarity and this comfort level with the podcaster, right?
Yeah. Like,
and it's a very emotional human thing. And I don't know if that could be replicated with an avatar.
Yeah. And on the flip side, there's like also some podcasters where, I was like, I just really like their style. And I'm like, I can't listen. Like, maybe I kind of like the topic, but I'm just like, I just don't like listening to this.
Yeah. Who comes to mind? Robinhood, the stock trading company. They have a podcast called Snacks.
Okay.
And there's two guys that are just way too excited about stocks and P&L and those things. And it's like, today, Rivian lost 4%.
Yeah, I can see
relax.
I'm just waking up.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I flagged it. Maybe we'll cover it next week. But there's that story that came out about how there's like one company that's churning out like thousands of AI podcasts.
I saw that
at a time, and basically just like flooding the market to just try to get any like hit and stuff. Yeah. I got thoughts about that. I don't think that's great. That's my thought.
Okay, we agree on something.
Okay. Comfy. I thought I had something else to say about VEED, but I don't remember.
Yeah, VEED is great. Go use it.
Oh, I mean my general note about VEED and what it does, it's still a bit frustrating that basically every AI avatar model where it's like you want to make an image talk, it is give it an image, give it an audio track, and then it goes. And maybe you can give it some sort of performance direction. But Runway is still the only game in town that can take human performance as the driving force and take the human performance, modify the audio if you want, and then drive the performance of the image. And so I would love to see if there's like more development of that space of like being able to actually have a human performance drive the AI creation instead of just
you can even call it animation. I mean, I'm sure animators will be really pissed that you called it that. But yeah, it's puppeteering is what it is.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. There's got to be a huge market for that.
It's performance capture. Yeah.
Yeah, like we tried to do this a few years ago. A friend of mine and I built this animated character in Unreal as a really cute cat, very furry. And we had a real-time Unreal, like, very modifiable session. Like, there is triggers and all types of cool stuff. And it's streamed to Twitch live.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And so he was able to either game and then, react to the game live, or he would watch the news and react to it. I mean, if you didn't do it live and you did it with AI and then you recorded it and then you just streamed it on Twitch after, like once it was all done, I mean, that could still be a viable content. Strategy. I mean,
there's like Adobe Character Animator that
it's not very good.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's Flash based or whatever version they're calling Flash now. It's 2D, right?
Right. I know it's 2D. I didn't realize Flash still existed in some form.
Yeah, they absorbed it into this technology. They don't call it that anymore, but it's essentially that. And 2D animation has its task and its purpose, but with all of the AI puppeteering stuff now and stylization and how easy it is to achieve 2D animated look.
Yeah, but I was going to also say, look at just like Snapchat and like the face filters. Like those are real time. They look really good. Like that's possible. You could do it.
They're really good
on those.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, imagine those on steroids. And that
I'm not even asking for real time. I just want to be able to give it the video.
Yeah, like I can wait 5 minutes. I can wait 10 minutes.
I don't need real time.
Just give me back something really like VFX quality.
All right, next update.
Comfy drops cloud. We talked about this a couple episodes back. When we were, remember the Comfy episode we did, how image generation works, and then we did a second one, how AI pipelines work, and our version of an AI pipeline. At the time, at the end of that episode, I asked you, hey, Joey, how does Comfy make their money?
we've wondered this multiple times on the show.
I think they're figuring it out. I think this thing will make them a little bit of money.
Yeah, so they're launching Comfy Cloud. Basically, you could run ComfyUI in the cloud. This solves a huge problem because the problem with ComfyUI right now is to run it effectively, you need to have a very powerful computer with a very powerful NVIDIA card and a decent amount of storage space because all of these models are 20 to 30 gigabytes a model plus everything else you need.
More. Yeah. I mean, the video models can be even bigger than that. The problem with running Comfy at home is even if you have a 5090 NVIDIA RTX GPU, which is like state of the art, you can't get elastic performance, which means like if you want to go up to like 2 GPUs, 3 GPUs, and then come back down to 1 when you're idling, you can't really do that at home, right? Obviously. And these backends run H100 GPUs, which are like far more powerful. Probably the best GPU we have to date for AI development, and you get access to that. So it's anything. I mean, it's way better than what you would be running at home.
The Comfy in the Cloud is not new. There are other third parties that do this as a service. I'm curious how this is going to shake up, because it's a wait list right now, and there's really no word on pricing or how this is going to work or what options you're going to have and how the storage aspect plays. But this is the next logical step, and will open up a big market for ComfyUI users.
Yeah, I mean, there are sort of AI infrastructure, browser-based AI infrastructure services, like Replicate comes to mind. That's another one. But the thing that Replicate is missing is like a node-based developer UI, which Comfy obviously has. But there's also Weavy, there's also Invoke, there's also Flora, there's also LTX. I mean,
we talked about those, but they're not you can't do as crazy of a workflow as you can with Comfy.
You can't build your own node. You probably don't have access to a bunch of other people's nodes that Comfy has. Comfy's amassed a big library of nodes that have been pre-built.
Yeah, of nodes to do things. I mean, even look at the McMuppets videos we talked about, where it's like, oh, look, you could also like pose track, you can camera track, you can create masks in Comfy. Like you could do all the, like, from nodes that other people built. Other
people have built, exactly, because it's all open. And Comfy is even good at doing non-AI functions. So the other day I saw somebody use a color LUT in Comfy.
Oh, interesting.
So you can do color transforms and stuff in Comfy as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've used it it's like you said, it's kind of just a good integrator or orchestrator for building out some quick nodes or just simple workflows. I mean, the nice thing I do like about running Comfy locally is everything you generate, you can save directly to your computer. So if you're sort of doing a bunch of batch work or processing, it is nice where it's just like, oh, the file's already there. I don't have to like try to re-download them or something. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure maybe they'll have cloud connections or something. They could just sync it to a folder.
It's saying in local and cloud features sync. I mean, I'd imagine it would be like DaVinci Resolve running on Blackmagic Cloud as well as things locally. Like you just
something that syncs. Or maybe like a Lucid Link kind of sync or something.
I'm sure that it'll take a couple of versions to get everything right, but this is definitely a step in the right direction.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's great. Like, I would expect their pricing to be like fair / like on the low end, with all the API stuff, the nodes that they built in, they don't do any markup. They just, like, you buy credit and they just charge you whatever the APIs are charging them directly. So I'm kind of curious how the price is going to come out, but I would expect it to be pretty accessible.
The only caveat there is AWS is not cheap, no matter what.
Well, maybe.
So like, even if they pass the cost to you, you're still looking at, anywhere from, I'm just guesstimating here, 4 to 8 cents an image and maybe 10 to 20 cents a video.
If you're running something that's like a local, like a model that you would be running locally, like Stability or the local Flux models,
or like a 1, 2.2, Quen, exactly.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it come out. Speaking of stability,
there we go.
Best all right, just talk about this one.
Quick caveat. So, as we always say on the podcast, this is not sponsored by my employer or Joey's employers. We do an independent podcast. With that said, we're covering the stuff that I do at work. Yeah, this is a big deal for stability because stable audio 2.5, I think it really becomes useful for professional and enterprise users in a big way because it's all trained on licensed music and the stuff that it generates, I think you own. You'd have to double check with stability on that, but you have full rights to all your generations. And then the cool thing is it's because it's trained on licensed music data, it is kind of like dialed in to make audio for your YouTube video or your documentary, like any kind of background music, any kind of like, I need just to fill this out. I need to just lay down the tracks. Like this is the tool to do it. The generation's super fast. I think a 30-second track takes like 3 seconds to generate.
That's fast.
It's actually so fast it can almost run on your computer. And then the best part is you can actually go in and you can edit the middle intro or outro. It's called audio in painting. Kind of like image in painting. Yeah. I'm not sure if they launched the audio to audio yet, but so let's say like the Adobe example. Remember when Adobe had the Foley thing where you can go,
there you go.
and
Yeah.
it feels it. Yeah, so this has the same audio feature as well.
That's cool. And so, but this one, unlike sort of the other stability models, you can't run this locally. Like you have to run it through an API or a cloud. Like
I'm
it says you
gonna
can load it at stableaudio.com
it's definitely,
or through the stability API.
for now, it's through the API. I'm hoping it just is downloadable and open source like every other stability products.
Okay, could it just
But
be
yeah,
enough to
this
like
is-
make a miniature, a smaller version of the model or something for that that could run locally?
Again, I don't work on the audio stuff much, but I'm gonna say this is light enough to run on an iPhone locally.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like pretty fast, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give this one a shot because just that need for like just background beat, something to fill in the background as always.
Yeah, and again, like this is my sort of personal opinion on it, not the company's or anything. I think it is pretty 1-to-1 with 11 Labs' solution, like as far as quality goes and how usable it is for a professional. Like it's one thing for me to make like some Instagram reel and add music to that. It's not, I don't think it's a big deal, right? Like, but if you, Joey, are making a documentary and you need to have really like finite control over the generation and the beats per minute and the instruments used and the cadence and the tempo, like this is built by musicians, so it speaks musician prompts. Like it understands what a crescendo is and arpeggio and all the words that I don't quite understand.
Cool, but that's also always a challenge for me when I'm trying to prompt the music thing, because I'm like, I want that thing, but I don't know what it's actually called in music terms.
Right. Yeah, I'm just like you, but then this is built for like proper musicians.
That's cool. Well, I'm playing the video, but that's probably not going to do anything because I'm not listening to the audio and I'm just seeing a giant cat jump in the screen. I'll check it out and mess around with it, and we can maybe we'll try some like background beats for the podcast.
Yeah. Let's play the 50 Cent song.
All right. Camera updates, because IBC
I love me
just
some
ended.
cameras.
New Red camera.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Red. You know this.
Yes.
I also love my Sony Venices and Arri Alexas. Like, I just like high-end cameras. There's so much art and science behind how these cameras are made and how they're used and what a cinematographer can do with it. I love the world of this stuff. So V-RAPTOR is now available as a new version called XE. It is smaller. It's only 4 pounds. It's compact. I would say it's the same size, maybe a little bit bigger than a Komodo.
Okay.
And best of all, it's cheaper. So now it's coming in just under $15,000 with the same performance.
Raptor before?
The Raptor before was, I think, north of $22,000, somewhere in the $25,000 range. And then it went up to V-RAPTOR XL, which is even more expensive, bigger body, and so on.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think V-RAPTOR's now come in 3 flavors. You have the big, I call it the Zack Snyder one, the one that he always showed with the curved handle in the back. That's the big boy. And then you have V-RAPTOR regular, which is about 20,000 or so, 25,000 for the body. And now they have the light, V-RAPTOR Lite, which is 15,000. So this is, if you're looking at the Sony lineup, you have the FX9, FX6, and FX3. So I think Red is just really trying to accommodate all the different price points and all the different size formats and different markets, really. Like I said, the big bad boy is for feature film, where there's a lot of money to build expensive rigs and get techno cranes and all that stuff, right? But most of the time you don't have that kind of budget, so you're running and gunning with a much smaller camera, one that is, you can rig it up with small rig or tilt up parts and go from there. And that's the V-RAPTOR regular. And then what if you want to put the camera on a drone, or what if you want to put the camera on the side of a car with suction cups? Then you need to go much, much lighter. And the problem with the Komodo is I think the sensor is not as performant as the V-RAPTOR sensor. So the V-RAPTOR has better low light performance, obviously has 8K, where the Komodo is 6K. And this guy can do really nice slow motion stuff. I think the Komodo, I don't think goes beyond 60. I might do 120, but with the V-RAPTOR, you're going 240. So you just
240
have
at 2K. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So like, you might be wondering like why Red blended the V-RAPTOR with the Komodo, as far as size goes and everything. I think they're 2 totally different cameras, and V-RAPTOR is like up here as far as professional quality goes. So this is a good move on their part.
Yeah, it's like you get the V-RAPTOR as the A cam and the Komodo as your B cam or backup cams where they cut together.
Yeah, I mean, the color science would be similar, but again, the V-RAPTOR is really like if you shoot stuff with the V-RAPTOR and you shoot stuff with the Komodo, you look at it side by side. The Komodo does struggle. I know my friends at Red are going to hate me for saying this, but the Komodo does struggle with lack of light. It's really grainy, and it just shows up, even in the most modest circumstances, like where an iPhone wouldn't show any noise. A Komodo does.
Is that where the Raptor excels because they piloted it as a feature?
Yeah, that sensor is just something else. It's a different engineering underneath. And the best part is these now have Z mounts on them, which is Nikon's mount. So, Nikon, one can argue, is more famous for its glass, its lenses, than for its cameras. So now you have all the legendary...
for its non-existent film cameras or cameras making moves in the film space.
Absolutely, yes. That's why they acquired Red.
Very slow to the game on that one. Yeah.
So this is Nikon glass is legendary. Nikon's been making glass for 50 years or so. So all those glasses now easily adaptable for the Red.
But speaking of Nikon and cameras, they also have their first camera since acquiring Red, the Nikon ZR.
Yeah, so this is, and then this is actually a twin announcement because Canon just announced I believe the R50. C50. The C50, which is a smaller version of the R5C, which is already a really solid camera. So you're playing in the, I'm going to say like in the $5,000 to $10,000 range for body. You can fact check me on that.
I think you're right on this one.
Yeah. So in this category, you have the Sony FX3, you have the Nikon ZR, and you have the Canon C50. And these three are in the same shape and size of a DSLR. So you can see that's like, you can grip that with like one hand. But because they're quote unquote professional cameras, you can gen lock them. You can,
even less 2200.
So those are, we should shoot the podcast with like three of these.
Look at this Nikon Red.
Yeah. And it's starting to get like the Red aesthetic. So you see if you go to the image again in the back, it has like the chamfered edges on the top, and then it has the white text on the black plastic. Yeah, that's all Red aesthetics. It's pretty cool. Yeah, and it looks pretty like you can drop that thing and nothing will happen to it. It looks a little bit more robust.
So small. It's literally just a sensor. Flip screen.
Yeah. So one of the biggest challenges with the Canon C5, I've used one extensively, was the fan, because these things have to operate, in any temperature, any humidity. They have big fans on them, and when that fan goes off, the audio gets picked up, the noise. So when it records, the fan shuts off, and then the sensor overheats. So this is one of those things that is not a big deal for the bigger body cameras because the fan is so far away, and it's bigger, so it doesn't have to spin as fast.
And so it's got not red log, right? Red color science.
Yeah, red color science would include
recording a 12-bit RAW. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's red RAW.
So yeah, the red RAW format, the R3D format, has the red native color space embedded in it. And of course, you can take it to any color space in post.
Yeah, 12-bit RAW 6K.
Log G310.
That's 12-bit RAW 6K. That's awesome and crazy for internal recording for a $2,200 tiny camera. Large monitor, 32-bit float audio, which is always great to have. And then, does it have built-in? Oh no, yeah. If you get this NX mobile air attachment, you could do Frame IO camera to cloud built into the camera.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, Red's built out 3 different V-RAPTORs, and they have 2 different Komodos. They have the regular Komodo and the Komodo, the bigger one, the big boy. And now they have, I would call this a Red camera. Now they have the Nikon ZR.
I guess this is a new label, Z Cinema. So this kind of, I'm guessing, more kind of consumer-friendly version of the Red technology tied into the Nikon brand.
You know what it is? It's probably the Red color science and the Red compression on the RAW format. So those are the 2 IPs that Nikon was probably after when they acquired them.
Yeah, it's still crazy that they had such a lockdown on RAW patents.
Yeah, they were one of the first, right? Like the Red 1, was it the Red 1, the very first Red camera? That was a game changer during its time.
All right, cool. It was fun to cover camera stuff.
Hey, Nikon, hey, Red, just send us a couple cameras.
Yes. We'll test them out.
We'll test them out and never return them.
Long-term test.
Long-term test.
All right, and more just kind of interesting business updates. Vimeo is being acquired by Bending Spoons for $1.38 billion.
Oh, wow. Bending Spoons, the garbage bin of tech companies.
I called them a vacuum cleaner.
Vacuum cleaner, that's much better.
Hoover of distressed tech companies.
Who else do they own?
Bending Spoons owns Evernote, which, I mean, basically they own all the companies that I was very fond of in the like early Web 2.0 days. So they own Evernote. They own WeTransfer, which I also did not realize until I read the press the release. They're buying Vimeo, which Vimeo, as I think we have talked about, has been like, what are they doing? What are they all about? Because yeah, I think going way back to early days of web video, when YouTube came out, it was YouTube and it was Vimeo, and they're pretty equal.
Right.
And when you were like someone in film school, Vimeo was like the place where you put your film because their web player was way better quality.
It still is like that. Most artists that I know have their reel on Vimeo.
Yeah, I mean, look, their video player is great. The stuff looks great. It's easy to use. You can customize the player. I've used it for my website stuff until recently when I had an issue with like billing, and I've gone back and forth with their support. And I'm like, I'm trying to pay you. Your payment processor doesn't work. And yeah, their support has not helped at all. So I'm also kind of not like, yeah, you kind of deserve it. Also,
and
I know
and then you became a YouTuber after that.
Yeah. I know their like business model shifted to like corporate clients that could dish out like 10 grand a month. Like that became their target.
Yeah, I mean, we're just guessing as to what Vimeo's strategy was for the last 10 years, right? One of the things that I had heard was they were trying to be like a private Frame.io for a lot of companies. So they would come in and then just build the walled garden of like a video review service.
Yeah, when I had like very few projects a long time ago, I used it for that because they have a review tool. It's similar to Frame.io. It's just once you start going over like 5 videos, it becomes a nightmare to manage notes and organization on Vimeo's platform. As a regular user, I mean, yeah, their target became enterprise users that they were building these like internal video tools, which was always never seemed to make the most sense when, you know, stuff like Descript and VEED.io and all these other tools exist for like a fraction of what they were charging and do most of it better. Yeah, I mean, they tried to be like an OTT in a box platform.
Exactly.
So like you want to launch an Apple TV app with your content, your own streaming channel, you could do it through them, which I mean, I'm sure it was a good service, but it's like how many companies or creators are big enough where they have enough content and an audience that it makes sense to pay this money to build out an app.
Yeah, probably I mean, $1.38 billion is not like, you know, it's not a small deal. Like this is big money, and I'm guessing the reason they're paying for it is because they have inventions in the world of streaming, in the world of video compression, in the world of customer delivery networks. So Vimeo probably has its own CDN in the same way Netflix has their own and YouTube has their own. It's how you distribute across the world, right? Like how do you take one video that was uploaded in LA and now millions of people all over the world can see it within a few minutes?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they also do live streaming, and it is a really good live streaming service too. It's just you had to pay for it. But yeah, so I mean, I think to your point, they have really good deliverability tech that I'm sure is still extremely valuable, because there are companies like you don't know the names of them, but they're like extremely valuable companies that are the pipelines to get videos streamed around the world, high quality, low latency. And I'm sure Vimeo's got that tech under the hood, and just maybe the corporate thing they're going after didn't work, but like Bending Spoons sees something else.
I think Bending Spoons will sort of dismantle it and sell it in pieces, like all the tech, and that's just my guess. You know, there's not just Netflix.
Are you saying they're like the Richard Gere of of companies?
You remember that one company that bought Kmart and then they also bought Sears, and then they would just like drive them into bankruptcy. This was like in the early 2000s. And the reason they did that is because it was a real estate play. Like the whole reason they made money is because Sears was 100 or 200-year-old, chain. So the real estate it was sitting on was a gold mine.
Like similar idea with McDonald's, where like McDonald's has values from all the property it owns from all the franchises.
Exactly. McDonald's is a real estate company, not a food company, right?
Yeah.
I think, we're just not seeing it through the right lens, but I think the underlying technology is probably far more valuable than the content or whatever you call it, the YouTube equivalent of Vimeo is.
Yeah. Bending Spoons also bought Filmic, the iPhone.
I don't know Filmic.
You do know Filmic, because Filmic was, before Blackmagic Camera came out, Filmic was the app that you would use on your iPhone if you're trying to shoot a movie. If you're trying to,
yes.
It was the only app that would unlock all of the features.
Unlock all the,
frame rate. So it was what they shot, what Soderbergh would shoot when they shot his movies on an iPhone, Tangerine. And then they switched their pricing to like a subscription service, pissed everyone off. I don't remember if that was before or after Bending Spoons acquired them, but then Bending Spoons acquired them and then sort of, I think, fired everyone.
But
I think that also coincided when Blackmagic came out with their app and it was like, it's free. And then that kind of, I think Filmic does exist, but that it's like, why would you pay for it when Blackmagic is free and does everything better?
Can you imagine walking through the Bending Spoons office, I think in Denmark or where? That's the Evernote team right there, and that's the Vimeo team right there. And
I didn't come out here to talk smack about it. I mean, at least they're trying to save the company. I don't want to be.
They're not trying to save anybody. They're trying to make money. This is a business.
Well, you need to make money to save so the companies can still exist. I'm
right.
trying to look up. So I know they also own like an AI, one of the AI like photo touch-up tools.
Oh, here we go.
Oh.
This is all.
Wait,
all
they own Meetup too.
There.
They own Meetup as well. I guess they bought it. They bought it off of WeWork after Adam bought it.
Yes.
Rimini, AI-powered photo enhancement generation.
Oh, I would be curious to use that. I mean, I think AI enhancement is really interesting rather than full generation.
I didn't realize they own all these. StreamYard, they own StreamYard, which is another popular streaming service. So that also would be a good fit for Vimeo and their acquisition. Because also Vimeo's live stream was built off an acquisition of Live, whatever the software was.
Was it Mark Cuban's company?
Oh, no, Broadcast.
Broadcast?
I don't think so. I don't think that was that. Did Yahoo buy that one?
Yeah, somebody major bought that. Yeah. We're taking it way back to Internet 1.0, guys. We're taking it to the early 2000s.
And I'm going to find out they own like Flickr or something.
Joey was roaming the streets of Miami.
In the hood of South Beach.
Yes.
The South Beach Posse. That was a real gang.
Eating a Cuban press sandwich.
Yeah, it's a Cuban press sandwich.
That hit too close to Joey's like, yeah, I like
No, it's more that you called it a Cuban press sandwich.
What is it called?
It's just like a Cuban sandwich.
Oh, it's just oh man. Oh, so embarrassing. It's like calling an In-N-Out burger like a cheeseburger from the restaurant establishment, In-N-Out.
In and out.
In and out. Sorry about that.
All right, last one. There was we talked about XGRIDS an episode or two ago about the new portal cam scanner that's coming out where you could do like LiDAR scans and turn them into Gaussian splats. They have a partnership with Volinga, which I did an interview with them at NAB, and they basically build an Unreal plugin so you could bring in Gaussian splats into Unreal. And so now they have a partnership with XGRIDS so that it integrates. So you do your XGRID scans, pop it into Unreal with Volinga. Volinga also has like ACES color management and helps develop it into an easier to use pipeline where then you could push it onto an LED wall for virtual production. So it kind of bridges that gap of scanning an environment and then pushing it to a wall with professional color management.
Yeah, this is a match made in heaven. Volinga always needed to partner up with a capture technology, a hardware device, if you will. And I remember working with them in the early days, and I would shoot video. I would shoot a Gaussian splat thing with the Red Komodo sometimes with an iPhone, sometimes with the DJI, the Osmo cameras.
Yeah.
I would ask them like, hey, what do you guys think? And they're like, oh, it doesn't matter. You just shoot it and you upload it. We'll figure it out. But it turns out it does matter if you need quality. And now that they have color pipeline, right, the input really matters so that the output is consistent. And then on top of that, like this is a LiDAR device. Like it's not just capturing RGB, it's capturing depth, it's capturing point cloud. I'm sure all that is going to come in handy when building those Gaussian splats.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, cool to see this partnership. And all right. And that's pretty much the roundup for this week at the start of the week. But, as with AI, I'm sure after we publish this tomorrow, or before we publish it, there'll be some other update tomorrow. I'll be like, oh, crap. All right, well, we'll throw it in next week.
Yeah, don't blame us. We can never keep track of what's going on
keep track of the models.
Things just happen every hour. A quick shout out to Sora, not Sora, who consistently comments on our videos just to show some support. So thank you, Sora, not Sora.
All right. Yeah, good name. Thank you. Sora, not Sora. Links to everything we talked about, as usual, at denoisedpodcast.com.
See you on the next one, folks.